Well, many people are aware of the work that David Harris has done at the Houston Institute at Harvard Law School. It's also worth noting that this is somebody who's been able, over the course of his career, to work on issues involving race, equality, community building, and community development in both the public, nonprofit, private, and academic arenas. That is no mean feat. These are very different places. The way to play a role, especially an advocacy role and an information role, varies from one to the other. And David, over the course of a long career, has demonstrated an extraordinary ability to do this work in a variety of different settings, but always keeping his eye on what he was seeking to achieve, which is a better, stronger, juster society here in this country. And I must say, he's also somebody who's managed to figure out how to bring the humanities into those conversations, because in many cases, humanities are where we can find shared experiences, and those shared experiences ultimately become the way you find common ground. Congratulations.
David Harris is a champion of civil rights and community justice who uses his own voice to lift up the voices of others. David served with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, where one of his landmark cases, Jane Doe versus Boston Housing Authority, garnered some of the most extensive affirmative action relief in New England. He went on to serve as the founding executive director of the Fair Housing Center of Greater Boston. In 2005, David conceived of Retracing the Struggle, a commemorative civil rights march of 5,000 Boston citizens and public figures. Mass Humanities organized the march from Roxbury to Boston Common, following the same route where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once led 40,000 protesters. As chair of the Mass Humanities Board, David introduced what has become Mass Humanities' award-winning Reading Frederick Douglass program, which now thrives in dozens of communities in Massachusetts and Vermont. Today, as managing director of the Charles Hamilton Houston Institute for Race and Justice at Harvard Law School, David spearheads public policy advocating for communities devastated by decades of institutional racism, and bringing the underserved into policy discussions about housing, education, job creation, and more. We honor David tonight for confronting the challenges of living in a multiracial society and for putting our shared history and literature to work solving these complex problems. Please join us in congratulating David Harris, recipient of this year's Massachusetts Governor's Award in the Humanities.